Friday 8th of November 2019. Today's video explores the internal operations of Child Protection Awareness, CPA, mainly focusing on its leadership, Louise, real name Audrey Joyce. It's our impression that they lack focus, organization, ethics and positive direction, which they don't appear to have even tried to keep hidden, which was very confusing to us. Whilst finite in its reach, this presentation provides insight in terms of their output and tangible effects, juxtapositioned with their depressing, degenerate and counterproductive internal conflict. This demonstrates that their efforts are being misspent, gossiping about malicious lies and rumors, when well-meaning people would be focused on research and rigorous fact-checking. It was by chance that we became aware of the existence of the CPA, when it was alluded to in an article relating to an incident that we had been looking into regarding a vulnerable young girl who had been being groomed by a man called Thomas Morehouse. We found it very odd that the article had been written as it had been presented in the context of it all being totally untrue. This was in no doubt incorrect as the evidence was already known to us, albeit not public. Then, when we found that the CPA's Audrey Joyce appears to have been the source for the said article, and not only that, but offering the CPA as a platform to defend the actions of the perpetrator, thus undermining the genuine story which is complex and shall be published in due course. This led us to discover that the information which she claimed to have was indeed garnished from her own unsolicited call to the groomer. This, despite promising not to call him, minutes earlier. And, this spike in her characteristic recklessness have put the woman and her children in further danger. She then went on to publish numerous posts regarding the counter-story as though it was fact. It got worse when she, eagerly followed by over 200 comments on one post, started to attack the mere notion of the young woman's wholly negative, highly abusive and manipulated situation, and anyone who would take an interest in what we knew was a well-documented true story, which could only be combated with lies that could never be substantiated. Some people commented on the wall to set the record straight, who knew the story was not as the CPA had portrayed, or at least questioned how they came to such a definitive conclusion. These people were bullied and abused, and this soon descended into threats of visits, i.e. threatening them to be quiet about facts, via direct, personal messages. This concerning sequence of unfortunate behavior from a group that purports to be protectors struck us as very peculiar. This evidence was saved and will be shared publicly soon. What followed needs to be underscored as we consider it to go straight to the rot, which is the purpose of what we wish to imprint on you, the audience. The fact that endless bullying and abuse was allowed on the posts in wider society, would be seen as discrediting the material, but with the CPA, mindless, profanity, off-topic opinions and wild speculation run rampant amongst their supporters, which unfortunately forms a false self-validating nonsense, surrounding false stories, which is very dangerous. This initial contact set the scene, which we now understand is typical of others, where people have the misfortune of becoming embroiled with the CPA, their lies, their bullying, smear campaigns and general harassment and unpleasantness. However, in this instance, things went a step beyond any which we're aware of currently. Audrey Joyce, having been made aware of the story, obtained the details of the abuser and proceeded to call them to ask them to do a video and publish it to make out that the family was making the entire thing up, including lots of additional libel about the said family. One such tale was that the father had attempted to murder Thomas Morehouse by ramming him into a river. This is concerning, as the girl was clearly not telling the truth and therefore was under duress, solidly indicating that coercive control was indeed at play. This is no idle claim, as we'd researched via speaking to the police, the witnesses, journalists, the local UK Independence Party councillor, Rob Hall Palmer, the rescuer of Thomas Morehouse, who'd pulled him out of the river as he lost consciousness. He was even on a BBC televised broadcast concerning the event. The man confirmed seeing the entire event, which commenced with the car travelling at high speed, before plunging into the river. It's no aside that when interviewed for TV, he made special note that he couldn't understand why the man had swam across the river when he could have simply walked up the bank a couple of meters from where he'd exited the car boot. What was Thomas Morehouse so eager to escape from, I wonder? It's not our intention to deride people, especially when they're clearly unhappy, but the focus of the organization is highly questionable. What you will hear shortly is abridged from a live feed from Facebook, produced by Audrey Joyce, using her pseudonym Louise. Her stated aim was to address concerns that certain members of her group had raised. We hereby draw your attention to the tactics employed by the leader of the group, Audrey Joyce, as self-evident from the recording. Incredibly, she's not allowed anyone to contribute as proposing these questions to her, nor allow the viewer to see the comments that she is being asked during her 40 minutes long diatribe of glib pettiness and sarcastic vitriol. We have abridged it to just less than 15 minutes, and whilst it is clearly aimed at people she knows will know what she's talking about, it is nonetheless not hard to follow the theme, whereby she seeks to intimidate her audience by undermining anyone who's dared to ask her about anything. Her only tactic is attack. Unfortunately, this veers from substanceless name-calling with no specifics, to revealing personal information which is inappropriate. The irony of hosting a questions and answers forum, where she deemed it appropriate to be avoiding all the questions and then telling the participants that if they don't like what she was saying to fuck off, was not lost on us. This, in Audrey's own words, will hopefully make what drives her and by extension what drives the CPA very clear to all who listen.
Now, over the course of the time that everything had been going on with MD, the amount of times, and I will admit I had to scream down the phone to Mark to fucking stop his antics. Selena Smith, you blocked Naomi. No, I didn't, Selena. Lo and behold, Naomi come back with, well, you're friends with him on Facebook. Well, I'm friends with over 1,000 people on Facebook. And sent me his profile and whatever. Didn't know the fella's second name. I probably don't know 98% of the people that I'm friends with on Facebook, but whatever. Naomi then went and done a live at Mark and said she believed that it wasn't Ciara that outed her kids' pictures, it was me. And she believed I was the one who sent the messages to this lady, and I was the one who sent the messages to Ciara, the threatening messages from an account called Disgusting. And she believed, now, no evidence and facts, but she just believed this. While she was on well, Paul, if you don't like it, fuck off. Laura Decoy, you go away. You're another silent justice one. You're one lonely man that has so many young girl profiles. You're actually violent sick, so I'm not even going to comment back to you. Yeah, Paula does have very bad hearing problems, Chelsea. She only hears what she wants to. Asks for gifts, asks for money, asks for phone credit, sends out innocent girls' addresses, steals pictures of young girls and uses them to decoy. Anyway, let's not talk about him. Here's Jodie B. Let's talk about Jodie B. Jodie B has been in my inbox for weeks now, haven't you, Mark? Oops, I mean Jodie. Yeah. You've done quite a few slip-ups on the live last night, Mark. Jodie. Quite a few slip-ups. Trying to figure out, is it you and Mark? Are you and Naomi using the account? So all of a sudden then all these accusations came flying at me. I don't know, many times Mark said last night, why aren't you dancing and screaming and trying to find out who messaged this girl's mother? Well, I need a starting point. I've asked for dates of when the messages were sent, because Naomi did ask me to set her up account because she lost her Naomi account for trolling. She had a Ruby Justice one that nobody knew about. and she changed the name on that to Leona. She set up another Naomi one, and that one was going to be removed as well. She asked me would I set her up one, and I did, and I sent her the login details, just how I lost my two under my Louise name, and I asked her would she set me one up, and she actually got Chloe Chambers to do it. So it's not like it's uncommon. Now, just to let you know, the way it works in Northern Ireland, as anybody knows, you have Catholics and Protestants up there, as you know. People, I call it Northern Ireland. Anybody that is, people that are Catholics up there call it Ireland. They don't call it Northern Ireland because they see themselves as Irish. Then you have the Protestants who see it as the UK, and they call it Ulster. They don't call it Northern Ireland because they will not use the Ireland name. So my guess from that is not many people would know that. Only people who live up there would know that. Yeah, well, that's true, Jane. It is speculation, but Naomi felt the need to jump on and say it was me. I was the one who rang Katie when I've never once ever asked anybody for information on Katie. I couldn't tell you where she lived or anything like that in the UK. I've no idea what her fella looks like, and anybody that is free to post up if I ever asked. I've never asked, but I tell you what I did get. I got a whole lot of an abuse of Gavlar. Serious abuse, telling me to go die, I was a cunt, I was a slag, I was an Irish bitch, and I was this, that and the other, and I'm not going to drag it all up, but calling me a Fenian. There's only one person that could be able to tell him what a Fenian means, and that's John, which is fine. But in my inbox, Davy is not John. He did not say accent. What? What are you talking about, Paula? But I tell you what I was sent. I was sent every single little bit of information on Gavlar. Every bit of information. His workplace, his work address, his boss's name, his mortgage details, when he bought his house address, his phone number, his girlfriend, everything. I was sent everything. I was sent his pictures. I was sent his family's pictures. Did I out any of that? No. Would I have had a reason to out it? Absolutely. He was a horrible fucker to me. But did I out it? No. Big fucking deal, Bobby. Obviously you need to catch up by outing my own pictures today. Yeah, Jody, get posting. It's your brother. Oh, true, yeah, I bet you're probably Gav. Definitely soldiers. Say it to you that it's an actual insult. That's the problem. And they just look stupid. Well, do you know what? If you don't like it, come off the live. What are you on the live for if you don't like it? Plain and simple. But I'm just showing how manipulative she is, because she was going to try and use this in her own sick and twisted way. I'm very serious, Nicole. Very serious. She started asking him the most inappropriate questions that nobody has the right to ask anybody. And I called her out on it. She's put her own, listen, this lady is crazy. I know MD's now jumping to her defence now because she's been over, given whatever. That's not for you to speak, so stop telling people you're sad. I know, I'm really sad, Paula. Really sad, but not as sad as you. thank God. Like I said, if you don't like it, come off the live. You don't have to listen. Your problem is solved. You know, she's put her own, you know, listen, this lady is crazy. I know MD's now jumping to her defence now because she's been over, given whatever. That's not for you to speak, so stop telling people you're sad. I know, I'm really sad, Paula, really sad, but not as sad as you, thank God. Like I said, if you don't like it, come off the live. You don't have to listen. Your problem is solved. Plain and simple. Problem solved. Anybody see Jody? Hey, Jody. Do you know her, Donna? Do you know her personally to know she's a good girl? I asked for the proof of what I done. Still not giving it. Yeah, Cassie. It's fun to go on. Yeah. Exactly, Jax. Naomi has done her live. It's my turn. Am I, Paula? Well, do you know what? If I'm sinning, my God, the Lord won't be happy with me. Yeah, Donna, I did mention her son. Yeah. Hey, Lynn. Yeah, Annabelle, Jody, the creepy stalker, a.k.a. Mark. Exactly, Chelsea. People don't see that. No, Terry, I'm not getting you on. I'm not having anybody on. I said this to Chelsea earlier on. I'm doing a live and I'm doing it on my own. He's not happy. I told the priest all about this today. Was that the priest that Kitty Fiddles? Just wondering. Because there's a lot of them about Paula. No, Terry, I won't accept it because I heard you out with Chloe's family. So no. Exactly, Yvonne. You know, Naomi done that live. I believe, well, Paula believes that she just spoke to the Lord. So, you know, he's the one you get your wine from. Paula, you know, get with it. I rarely drink, maybe once, twice a year. That's it. It wouldn't bother me if I didn't have a drink. Funny Tesco's missing and Nicole pops up. Never noticed that. Annabelle. Is Chelsea here? Chelsea's here. Don't you talk about my Paula. She is better than you. That's great. I'm glad you think so, Terry. Is she your Facebook friend, yeah? Boring. Some people like the sound of... They do, Lisa. Some people do like the sound of their own voice. Some people like to read and laugh and titter away. Actually, Paula, I think, you know, you were given condolences on a post there not so long ago about a very sad situation when somebody died, and everybody was asked to respect the fact that this child died and not to comment on posts and whatnot. And Naomi had a right go at you on that post, and to be fair, you were asking her to stop out of respect, and she wouldn't. Yep, I speak to people nobody would know about. Chelsea can put calls into anyone when she needs to. Nicole is not test. Oh, you speak to the priests, not the Lord. Well done, you. Did you find the priest on your ghost hunt? Cranberry wine. That's right, Yvonne. They are supposed to be sure. Oh, I'm waffling about quite a lot, Paula. If you don't like it, like I said, go. Yes, thank you, Chelsea. I did say I was doing a live on my own and I was having no guests on. I was going to give my side of the story, and I done. and I'm still waiting on proof that I've done all this crap. You know, people talk about facts and evidence and all this malarkey. Well, show me. What is she on about, Paula? I think she needs a doctor. Bobby, I think you need a doctor. You need an exorcist, Paula, not a priest. Cassie, I like you. You wish you looked like Paula. I don't know what she looks like. Speaking to the priest hasn't helped. Moral compass point in the right direction. Oh, that made me giggle. The spooks will come to you. Ooh, put a curse on me. Walk away. Walk away. Walk away. Right, guys, so I'm going to leave this live now. I've said what I have to say. I'll still wait for all these facts and evidence. And yes, I did message the police tonight because I have some information on a very serious crime. That somebody is an arsonist, and I will be passing over. So I wish you all a good night.